Welcome to No Sleep Frequency, the podcast where every story lingers long after the lights go out. Okay, so let's dive right in. We have this incredible set of accounts from a gig economy worker, a pizza delivery driver named Dino.
Right. And you think you know what that job is, Late nights, maybe a weird customer hoping for a decent tip.
Exactly, but this is something else entirely. The picture Dino paints is less about customer service and more about, well, existential survival.
It's a whole system, and what's so compelling is how formalized the danger is. This isn't just random scary stuff happening. It's built into the job description.
Which brings us to the core concept here, the thing that governs everything, the red flags.
Yeah, and these aren't just, a notification on an app. Dino is very specific. These are bright red sticky notes.
Placed right on the pizza box.
Yeah.
And the rules are always written in all caps, screaming at you almost.
It's this very physical, very immediate warning, and the rules themselves are, well, they're often completely surreal. They defy any kind of normal logic.
They're non-negotiable. That's the key. And if you break one...
The consequences are not getting a bad review. It's not getting fired.
No. The consequences Dino describes are immediate, they're terrifying, and they often involve losing a piece of yourself, sometimes literally.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to treat these accounts as, essentially, factual reports from a hidden world, a red flag economy.
We want to break down the mechanics of it. Why do these rules exist? What happens when they're broken? And the big question, right? Why does Dino keep doing it? What kind of money makes this all worthwhile?
It's that classic risk-reward scenario, just amplified to an insane degree. The currency isn't just cash, it's strict, unwavering obedience to the bizarre.
So let's start right there, the motivation. Why would anyone put up with a job where the handbook includes rules like, do not let the bunny mascot suit see you?
I mean, it's the oldest reason in the book, the money. Dino is incredibly upfront about it.
Yeah, she just says flat out, it pays good money.
And she gives this really interesting comparison. She says she looked into stripping, which, can be very lucrative.
Right.
But she decided against it. So she didn't have the skills, the body, the dexterity, I think was her word.
So that tells you right away where her baseline is. She's willing to put herself in positions of high risk for high income.
And she's very self-aware about it. She calls herself lazy and says since she wasn't born rich, she needs these big, quick payouts. It's a very pragmatic, if dangerous, calculation.
And the money we're talking about, it's not an extra $5 for being on time.
No, not at all. The bonuses are engineered to make you ignore your survival instincts. She talks about one delivery that was $200.
Which is already a great tip for a pizza delivery.
Right. But on top of that, there was a $50 survival bonus.
A survival bonus. I mean, just think about that. It's a line item. It's an administrative acknowledgement that your life is on the line.
It's the company, or, well, the boss,
Yeah.
basically saying, we know this might kill you. Here's a little extra for making it back.
So for Dino, who's already decided she's in this for the cash, that system actually makes a kind of horrifying sense, as long as she follows the rules.
And as long as she, survives, the money is the hook that keeps her tethered to all this danger. It's almost like the whole system is designed to find people exactly like her.
People who are desperate enough to trade their sense of normalcy for a paycheck.
Exactly.
And speaking of the system, let's talk about the guy running it, the boss.
The elusive boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. The secrecy around him is just, it's intense. Dino says his name isn't on anything. Not on the website, not on the pay stubs, nothing.
And by the time she realizes how weird that is, she says it's already too awkward to ask. Too dangerous, maybe.
It's a method of control. By being nameless, he's sort of unaccountable. He's not just an employer. He's this gatekeeper to this other world.
And his management style is, let's say, direct.
Oh, yeah. Anytime she asks a question about what's really going on, he has one response.
Your job is to deliver pizzas, not questions.
End of conversation. It's total compartmentalization. He doesn't want his drivers to see the big picture. Knowledge is a threat.
But we get this one piece of evidence that suggests his secrecy isn't just about being a tough manager. It hints at something deeper. Some kind of foreknowledge.
This is where it gets really chilling for me. Dino gets a chance to snoop around his desk.
And what does she find? Her own resume. The one she submitted to get the job. It's stained with grease, but something is written on it.
In the boss's handwriting, scrawled right across her application, it says, Dino, good omen.
Wow.
Yeah. So he didn't hire her because she was a good driver. He hired her potentially because of her name. because of what her name implied to him.
So it's not random. She was selected.
Hmm.
Her role in this whole thing was predetermined. That reframes everything.
It really does, and it makes the way he says her name even stranger. He always calls her Dino.
Right. And she corrects him constantly. She even wore a dinosaur hoodie one day to try and, passively make the point.
Yeah. And it doesn't work. He just keeps saying it wrong. At one point, she finally confronts him about it.
And he gives this almost sweet explanation. He says he calls her that to keep her from going the way of the dinosaurs, from going extinct.
For a second, you think, oh, maybe he actually cares. It feels like this rare moment of paternalism.
But then he just snatches it right back. He says, or maybe I just forget, or that he thinks that's how it's pronounced. He just completely undermines the moment.
It's psychological whiplash. So you have to ask yourself, is he just messing with her? Or is that nickname, Dino, a constant, subtle reminder of that note on her resume?
Dino. Good. Omen. He's basically tying her name to her fate within his system.
Given everything else we learn about him, his ability to predict danger, his other skills, it seems highly unlikely he's just forgetful.
It's a power move. He's the one in control of the system, and he's making sure she knows that he's also in control of her fate.
Which is a deeply unsettling work environment. The horror isn't just the monsters outside, it's baked into the management structure.
Okay, so let's move from that unsettling structure to the dangers themselves. Our first big case study, the silence of room 665.
This one is such a perfect example of the conflict between, basic human instinct and the cold, hard logic of the red flag rules.
The location, first of all, is so disarming. It's a fancy 4-star resort. People in robes, fancy drinks. It feels safe.
But the delivery is always to the same spot, room 665. The consistency is important. This is a fixed point of danger, a known hazard.
And the red flag rule for this delivery is all about one thing: sound.
Leave pizza outside room 665. Keep headphones with music on at all times while in the hotel. Never remove headphones.
So the threat isn't something you see, it's something you hear, or maybe something you're prevented from hearing.
The headphones are a shield, a sonic barrier. It's a mandatory piece of personal protective equipment, just like a hard hat on a construction site.
And of course, the equipment fails.
It always does, right? Her phone dies, she's in the lobby, and the music just cuts out.
And the consequence is instantaneous. The entire world goes silent.
She describes it so vividly. She sees people talking at the bar, the concierge is on the phone, their mouths are moving, but there is zero sound. Nothing.
That sensory whiplash, that has to be terrifying. It instantly proves the rule was necessary. The second that barrier drops, reality warps.
The silence is the danger. It's the state you enter when you're unprotected. It's like the music was a filter, keeping the real, silent nature of that place at bay.
It's bad enough in the lobby, but it gets so much worse upstairs. She gets to the 6th floor, plugs in her phone to charge, and that's when she hears it.
A voice from inside room 665, pleading.
Help. And then it gets personal. Don't leave this time. Please help me.
It's just perfectly engineered to trigger every impulse to help someone. It's an emotional attack.
And then it gets coercive. It knows she's hesitating. The voice says, "You can hear me. Don't go. Please, your life depends on it."
It's trying to flip the script, using her own self-preservation against her. The one thing that will kill you is the one thing it's telling you to do to survive.
But here's the detail. The one that it takes us to a whole other level. The voice.
The voice pleading for help.
It sounds exactly like her own.
Yeah. I mean, what do you even do with that? Is it a recording of a past version of her who failed? An echo?
Or is it just a mimic? An entity that takes on the form of what will hurt you most, what will make you hesitate.
It feels like it's showing her the price of compassion in this world. This is what happens if you break the rule. This is you, trapped forever, begging the next driver for help.
It's an absolutely brutal psychological trap, and she's standing right in front of it.
But she doesn't fall for it. This is where her adherence to the system saves her. She follows the red flag.
She puts the pizza down, turns around, and walks away. She gets back to her phone, puts her headphones on, and just cranks the volume.
And her choice of music is just, it's perfect in a way.
That's Baby Shark.
Baby Shark. She figures, as she puts it, that not even hell could get through that song.
And it's funny, but it's also so smart. It shows the defense is purely psychological. It doesn't matter what the music is, as long as it's a barrier. That silly, relentless song became her shield.
It absolutely did.
Right.
And our analysis has to be that the rule was protective. It was shielding her from an auditory illusion, a trap designed to prey on her identity and her empathy.
Because surviving this job, you have to be able to turn that part of yourself off completely.
Even when it sounds like you're abandoning yourself.
Yeah, so the next big lesson she learns isn't even on a delivery. It's back at the pizzeria. She's left in charge for a night.
And the reason why is pretty interesting. It's because she actually refused a delivery.
Right. It was a topless delivery for a $50 tip. And she has this great line where she says she has low standards, but not NO standards.
It's a fascinating moment. It shows she does have a line, a moral boundary the money can't make her cross.
And the boss, instead of firing her, just accepts it. He takes the delivery himself and has her manage the store, which implies she's too valuable to lose. Her ability to follow the important rules outweighs this one refusal.
And he pays her well for it, too. But he leaves her with one single critical instruction for how to run the shop.
If the bell doesn't ring, there's no customer. So don't speak to anything you see and hear that ain't a customer.
So the little bell on the door isn't just for atmosphere. It's a supernatural alarm system. It's the only thing that validates whether something that walks in is real or at least safe to interact with.
It's a validation barrier.
Right.
Bell rings is a customer. No bell.
It's an anomaly, and the rule is simple. You do not acknowledge it, you don't give it power by speaking to it.
And of course, this rule gets tested almost immediately.
Well, first she does a little snooping.
Yeah.
Which is when she finds that Dino resume.
Right. So her head is already spinning from that. She puts it back, looks up, and sees an old woman. Just a normal-looking old woman looking at the desserts.
And the first thought that hits her is, she didn't hear the bell.
And on pure retail autopilot, she starts to greet her. Oh. Hello. I didn't. And she catches herself mid-sentence.
Just brilliant instinctual survival. She pivots, pretends she was talking to herself, muttering about being a stegosaurus brain.
She completely avoids acknowledging the woman.
Oh.
But the entity seems to notice. It leans in, its eyes narrow, like it's trying to figure out if she's faking.
The tension must have been unbearable. And then Dino sees it, the reveal, not by looking at the woman directly.
But in the reflection, in the glass of the pastry case.
And in the reflection, the woman's mouth was wide and gaping and opening wider.
Us. The reflection shows the truth. The harmless old lady is just a disguise for something.
No.
Ravenous.
It confirms exactly what the rule was protecting her from. Acknowledging it would have been like opening the cage door.
And just then, ding ding.
The bell. The boss is back. And the second he walks in, the old woman is just gone. Vanished.
Which raises another question. Does his presence scare these things off? Is he the apex predator in this environment?
It's possible. Or maybe the sound of the bell itself just resets the space. It closes the window of opportunity for the unvalidated entity.
And the boss knows instantly that something happened. He sees the look on her face.
He calls it her yuppish look, which is just such a strange, specific detail. He can read the terror on her. He knows the signs of a near miss.
She manages to deny it, just barely. Because technically she didn't break the rule. She bent it right to the breaking point, but she didn't speak to it.
And the boss pays her, respecting that she survived. He seems to have this philosophy that he'll handle the everyday creeps at the store, but the red flags out on the road.
Yeah.
Those are on her.
Okay, so that brings us to what is, I think, the most intense and frankly traumatic incident in all these accounts. The one that made Dino actually think about quitting for good.
The bunny mask, which is the boss's way of saying, this one is exceptionally dangerous, be careful.
And the rule itself, it's so specific. Do not let the bunny mascot suit see you.
And Dino makes a point to emphasize the wording, not the person in the suit.
Just the suit. The danger is the object itself.
So the setting is a busy shopping mall, a jewelry kiosk, and she's on high alert. She's checking every corner, looking for this mascot. She completes the delivery, gets the money, and thinks she's in the clear.
But on the way out, she sees it.
Standing in a hallway, a cream-colored bunny suit, chubby cheeks, buck teeth, and these flat black mesh eyes, and it's staring right at her.
That's it. The rule is broken. One moment of eye contact.
She just bolts, runs to her car, gets on the highway, thinking that distance will save her.
But this thing, it doesn't follow normal rules. She gets back to the pizzeria, walks in, and the boss just looks past her toward the door.
And the bunny mascot is there, at the window. Its paws are on the glass, and it's just looking in.
It followed her. That changes everything. The dangers aren't contained to the delivery location. A broken rule can follow you home.
It's a pursuing threat. And then it gets inside the store, and Dino notes, critically, the bell doesn't ring.
So it's not a customer. It's here to collect.
And this is when she gets that horrifying confirmation. She looks through the black mesh eyes of the suit, and there's no one inside. It's empty.
Just the suit, movie on its own.
Mhm.
And it looms over her, and she says she can smell this rotten smell coming from inside it.
It's a consuming entity. And the boss, he doesn't panic. He understands the transaction that's about to happen. He turns to Dino.
And he asks her, surrender something important. What are you okay losing? An eye, a finger.
He's preparing her to pay the price, to make a sacrifice to settle the debt for breaking the rule.
But then he does something completely unexpected. He sighs and says, this is the only time I'm doing this.
Then he grabs a knife from the counter, and he chops off one of his own fingers.
Just like that. A thick, hairy-knuckled finger. He sacrifices a part of himself to pay her debt.
I mean, why? Why would he do that? He could just let her pay the price. He could fire her.
It suggests she's more than just an employee. She's a valuable asset in his system, and maybe it's cheaper for him to lose a finger than it is to lose her.
Especially if he can, afford the price.
Right. And the mascot. It accepts the payment. It takes the severed finger in its paw, brings it up to its face, and seems to consume it.
And then it just turns and walks out. Again, no bell. The transaction is complete. The debt is paid.
Dino is, understandably, completely wrecked by this. The boss sends her home. But the real mystery happens the next morning.
She comes back to work, and the boss is there slicing peppers. Both of his hands are perfectly whole. 5 fingers on each.
No wound, no bandage, nothing. And Dino is observant. She calls him on it.
She points out that his pinky finger looks different. It's a lighter skin tone, like it hasn't seen as much sun. The nail is perfectly clean. She says it looks like a brand new finger.
And that's the reveal, isn't it? The boss isn't just a man who runs a pizzeria. He can regenerate. He can pay these horrible physical prices because for him, they aren't permanent.
It has to be the only way he can run this business. He's the ultimate insurance policy. He can absorb the cost of failure and reset himself. He's part of the system in a way his employees aren't.
And he just plays it off, of course, brings up the Dino nickname again, gives that whole saving you from extinction line. But the truth is, out. He's not entirely human, or at least he doesn't operate by human rules of biology.
He's the gatekeeper, the enforcer, and when necessary, the sacrifice. And he can afford it because his body is apparently a renewable resource.
So after all that, the mascot, the finger, Dino is, as you'd expect, really shaken. This is the section where we analyze her state of mind and the other lingering threats.
Yeah, she is at a breaking point. She's actively working on her resume, she says. Seriously thinking about quitting. But
the money is still there. Yeah. That pull is so strong it keeps her from leaving, even after witnessing something that completely shatters her understanding of reality.
And look at her coping mechanism.
Yeah.
It's really dark. She says the only way she can talk about the job is with her brother, and only when she's high.
Because he doesn't believe her.
Exactly. It's a form of self-preservation. If he actually believed her, she'd have to confront it as real. His disbelief allows her to treat it like a crazy story, which lets her keep going to work and earning that money.
It's a very deliberate form of dissociation.
And there's one more red flag we have to talk about. It's almost the most insidious one because of how simple it is.
Do not pet the cat.
That's it, in all caps on a red sticky note. And she includes a picture of this cat, this little guy who is just glaring. And she says, yeah, petting it would probably kill her.
So why is that one so dangerous? Compared to everything else, it seems so mundane.
I think that's the point. It's the ultimate test of pure discipline. Petting a cat is such a normal, harmless human impulse.
And this system demands that you suppress all of your human impulses. Empathy for the voice in the hotel, curiosity about the old woman, and now, simple affection for an animal.
It suggests that the danger isn't always some gaping monster. Sometimes it's in crossing a very small, very simple boundary that you were explicitly told not to cross. Discipline is life. Impulse is death.
So if we're boiling this all down for you, the listener, there are really 3 core tenets for survival in Dino's world.
Number 1, protect your senses. The headphones in the hotel show that your perception of reality can be attacked. You need a filter.
Number 2, do not validate the unvalidated. The bell at the pizzeria is the gatekeeper. If something hasn't been officially announced by the system, you pretend it doesn't exist. Acknowledging it is an invitation.
And finally, number 3, obey all visibility rules. The mascot proves that being seen can trigger a debt that will be collected one way or another.
It's this bizarre, terrifyingly consistent internal logic. The system rewards you financially, but it demands absolute behavioral obedience in return. It punishes curiosity, it punishes empathy, it punishes instinct.
Our whole deep dive shows just how deep that logic runs. From that first note on her resume, Dino, good omen, to the boss regenerating his own body parts. It's a functional, horrifying economy.
But that leaves us with one huge, lingering question, and it circles back to the boss. We know the voice in room 665 sounded just like Dino. We know the boss can sacrifice parts of himself and just grow them back.
Right.
So he's exempt from any permanent cost, and the system seems capable of trapping or mimicking its drivers. What is the ultimate price being paid here, and who is really in control? Is all this money, all this survival just fattening Dino up for some final terrible transaction?
That's the question you have to ask yourself. Maybe the real price isn't a finger or an eye. Maybe it's the slow, steady erosion of your humanity until nothing is left but obedience.
If this story stayed with you, let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like the episode and subscribe to No Sleep Frequency for more stories that refuse to let you sleep.